Hi and welcome to a third installment into the series My Experience with the Assassin's Creed games. In the last video I talked about how I would discuss and talk about my personal experience with Assassin's Creed Unity and Syndicate, and I also said it was sort of like the last close-off point before we reach the RPG games, which started with Origins. So I will try and make this as informational as I can, but try and give you my personal take from each and try and make it truly feel like it's personal. If you enjoy it, that's great. If you do, please leave a like if you like the video, and if you have personal experience yourself, you can leave a comment what your personal experience is, and I will try to read the comments. So otherwise, enjoy the video.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Right, well, we'll start at the beginning. Me and my friend decided to jump to next gen, but I didn't play Assassin's Creed Rogue before Unity, so I did not know about Shay Patrick Cormac killing Arno's father. So we'll just address that there. Pretty sure, like I said, I was mind blown when I found that out when I played Rogue. I'm like, wow, look at that, so many games are connected. But then, like, what was impressive with this game, well, we'll talk about like my first sort of interaction with the game. I parkoured up a building, I climbed up a building, and then when I traversed down, parkoured down, whatever you want to call it, I dropped on a crowd of people, and I clipped through and glitched through the map, which was like a common trope thing for me, finding glitches or stumbling on glitches. So, you know, that was quite a common thing for me, but that didn't take away from the game. It's just like, wow, I've only been playing this game for 10 minutes, maybe 15 on a push, but you know, that was sort of like my introduction to the game. But yeah, that was sort of like my first introduction to the game. And then in this, I think you're not limited by your level, so you can get like the best gear or the high-end gear super early in the game. You just need to have the money for it, and then you need like this other currency to up. I think it's another currency to like upgrade it to the max, so you've got the best. So that was quite a nice little touch that didn't break away from the games like, you know, like Assassin's Creed 2 and things like that, where once you bought a sword, it was set to that level. You didn't need to like spend extra money. So that was a nice little touch in a way, that they didn't go too crazy on that. But story wise, I thought it was pretty good, 100% through. That Arno had formed a deeper connection to the Isu connection. I'll say that because it's like, well, I don't know how you describe it, where you get to see the events of what happened to each target, or like when he's killed the target, he gets to see like how that played out, which, you know, like people say, like, well, was he a bit too young when his father died, and even though he still has the watch after all this time, did he just not want to know? Did it just bring up too much trauma for him? But then, like, he has a love interest in Elise, who he meets when he's very young as well, which is, like, vital to the story. And you find out she's a Templar, and that's sort of like a no-go, Templars and the Hidden Ones assassins coexisting. So to see how that plays out is quite interesting as well. And the co-op missions are quite fun. Some I think pretty much require stealth, because if you want the max reward, you have to be able to do the game stealthily and stuff like that. And then, like, in this you've got like a master tree, a skill tree, where it's like that can affect your game, because you've got like chests that you can unlock, but you get like level 3 chest, which if you're only a level 1 locksmith, there's no way unlocking that. The thing goes too fast. So, you know, that's quite fun. And Ubisoft delivered again on the story, and like I said, it was such a good turn that they did with like I said, when Arno interacted with something on the victim or target, and you got, like I said, you got that extra memory from it, that he had that deeper connection, because I don't think they really ever delved into that again. So that makes Arno very, very unique, in a sense that, in a way that if he just chose to be neither against the Templars or against the Assassins and went alone and hunted both, it'd be dangerous to both sides, because he's got such a unique trait that he truly is an enigma. And what's also good is that you could dye your outfits in this game as well, I'm pretty sure. Like, you got colour schemes, which I think carried on into Syndicate, but I could be wrong about that. So you could truly make your Arno, up to a certain point, unique to you. If you liked a certain way you looked, then that's what you do. And it's like, if you prefer certain weapons, if you have a certain way of playing, I even think they tried at Ubisoft to tailor to every game. I think this was the bridge where they was trying it, approaching it, before like Syndicate went to like a level system, because even in this there's like leveled areas, like this diamond shapes are the level, so depending on which area you went to would determine how strong the enemies are. So they sort of dipped their toes into it here to a certain degree, but they absolutely tried making it where they put in lots of, you know, NPCs, so France felt very vibrant. And, you know, I think that's so unique, because I don't think they ever replicated or produced that again, because when you compare Unity, which the map isn't exactly small, it's actually quite a large map, and bear in mind that they tried filling it up as much as they could. Compare that to Valhalla, or like an Odyssey, or even in Assassin's Creed Shadows. I won't talk too much about Assassin's Creed Shadows, but you do get NPCs when you're walking through, but I think that's certain areas in Shadows. but one of my friend's biggest critiques about Odyssey, or especially Valhalla, is he turns around and says that the map just feels empty. That Odyssey has more interactions, more enemies and things like that. It's a bit more NPCs loaded in, like enemies, mercenaries, stuff like that, where, like my friend Joe said, I think they tried going denser with Valhalla, but then it suffered that they put less and less and less people in until you like reach like towns or something where like, oh, we have to fill here because you're visiting a town, so it has to feel alive. So, you know, Joe's like, my friend's like, well, how come when you're traveling, how come you're not, or like, you know, because like, you shouldn't have to fast travel everywhere. This is what my friend says. So he's saying like, how come like if I want to ride from one space to another because I've not done all the viewpoints, how come I'm not running into too many NPCs, and most of the time you run into the NPC who's like, oh, for some information I can tell you something. So with, at least with this, pretty much all the time, apart from I guess like remote areas, it was loaded in with lots of NPCs, so it felt more alive. It felt more like, yes, this is a positive direction to go. Because even in Syndicate, which I'll go into when I get to talking about Syndicate, like when you look at like the rivers, all the ships that are going back and forth or whatever they are, the boats and stuff, there's so many. That's pretty great to look at. And when you're riding round, there's loads of NPCs, so how could it go backwards? Next gen, it's supposed to be more powerful. The software's supposed to be more powerful. How did it go backwards? But generally, it's a stunning looking game. They never produced a bad looking game. The cutscenes are good. The story's good. When they showed E3 off and they talked about co-op play, me and my friend really thought that we could play through the campaign co-op, and then felt a bit slighted when we found out, oh no, it's side missions, not even that vital to the canon of the campaign, that you get rewards but they're not that great, to be fair. So yeah, that sort of, it doesn't take away from the game, but it sort of took away from the experience that was low-key kind of promised to us. But and I also think in this one, they also had like where they had people trying to break in, like hacking, to like get a fixed point on you, who's in the Animus, and you had to like run through a certain thing and reach a certain point. Like I think you have to go to the top of like the Eiffel Tower or something, jump through the thingy where that person's coded that in to cut them out. That is awesome, those interactions, like when you're running at trains coming and stuff, so good. So I don't feel there's too much more to talk about. Like, I know Dorian, like I said, like people say like maybe they didn't know they were going to work on Rogue, and that's why I know never, like when he interacted, like when he had his father's watch, even though he was attached to it, couldn't really see who killed his father because it was like too personal, too traumatic. So, you know, but even Shay didn't go after Anno, he did his own thing as well. So my overall experience with this game is good. I enjoyed it very much. So again, if I were to give it a rating, again, it's a solid installment. Like I said, that it's just sort of the point where you felt they were trying to push the game, like it were moving forward, and that it showed the reason why it was for next gen. But where people, even my friend says, when people like showing like, oh, NPCs are loading in wrong, or we're seeing these gross things, we never experienced that whatsoever. So we must have been fortunate when we got to play it. Maybe it was just PCs couldn't handle it and consoles could, or like the PlayStation was powerful enough to handle it. But that's about the last little thing I have to say. But all in all, another solid game, and I'm gonna give it another 8 out of 10 because it's a solid installment.
Oh, the running kid. Look, this fucking don't try. Look. See that bamboo? Gone.
A few moments later.
Right, well, with my first experience with this game was like my friend playing it, and I think he was in the fight club or fighting enemies. And I was like so amazed by the fight system, the fight mechanic in this game, which is like, I think, something that the developers to a certain degree took away from the game, because obviously it's like it's supposed to be about stealth. So yes, like in Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio's Uncle Mario is like, oh, you must learn how to fight to defend yourself and things like that. And even in Assassin's Creed, when you're playing as Altair, the guy's like, it seems my students do not fully know how to wield the blade. And then, like, if you decline, he's like, you must be busy. I understand, right? And I'm not trying to be insulting. That's how I hear it when he says it, the guy. The whole objective in Assassin's Creed is there's supposed to be a blade in the crowd. It's supposed to be there but not seen. It's supposed to be a myth. But in this one, because obviously it's England, and England are brutes and known for being good fighters and boxers and things like that, that kind of takes away to a certain degree, that when you get into combat, that you can hold your own. Like, I think, like, pressing X, you know, like, breaks like the guard, and then you can just absolutely go to town. And when you've got the best weapons in the game, which I believe is level 10, which is max rank. I don't know if, yeah, I think level 10's max rank, and they have like enemies at different levels in the game. You know, like, in a way it takes away from you supposed to be stealthy. You're supposed to get in, get out, fulfill your objective without them ever knowing you're there. That's what a true assassin is. But that doesn't take away from the combat system, because the combat system is like one of the best. You truly feel great. Like, when you get your timing down, it's so good and things like that. And like being able to like use your pistols and stuff like that whilst in combat's also good. But generally it's like I said, to a certain degree it takes away from the experience, but it's only very minor. Story wise it's very good. And in this one you've got twins, Evie and Jacob Fry, and each one is unique. Each one has their own personal missions. And in this one it introduced where it's like you get a few options as to what you wish to do. But in this one, they also kept the synchronization, like here. Do not kill anyone whilst placing the explosives. Like here, I'm not even in the restricted area, and this person's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm not even in the restricted area. My hat's up, so I'm in like my normal gear, so I shouldn't be suspicious. But I've got people coming after me, so it's like, come on, game. You're making this harder than it needs to be. But I can't fight these people, because if I kill someone, that flashes red, and then I have to reload the mission and start again. And it just makes it so frustrating, because when I was on that rooftop, I was trying to look. Where can I get round? Where's the route round? So I can get in, pick up the box, plant it, pick up the box, plant it, pick up the box, plant it. It's like, look, it's the middle of the day and I can't do anything, but I can't kill anyone. And when I tried going behind that person on the roof, I was trying to see if there was a knockout option, and the option somehow wasn't there, so you could only assassinate, which it's like, why would you put that in the game? That's just not fair. So yeah, right here I'm engaged in combat, I'm trying to walk away. He literally pulls out his weapon and it's like, I can't, I get shot. It's like, come on game, stop putting such a stupid restriction on us when it's literally clustered and cluttered with enemies. But yeah, I could easily kill all these quite easily, but instead I'm having to trying to pick up the box, hoping they don't hit me, trying to plant the box, I have to press triangle for dodging fire, hoping I don't shoot someone, because triangles to also shoot, stuff like that. It's so frustrating. But again, it's only instances like that where it becomes frustrating. So, you know, if that weren't in the game and it's like, go in, plant the thingies, I could kill everyone, plant it, go to the top and fulfill the mission. Do it easy. Which is something that my friend also said. It was telling you how to play when you're already synchronizing with your ancestor. That's enough. You don't need to be like, oh, they did the loop, they swallowed fire, they patted this dog, they scratched this child under the chin and made him giggle, they bought this little girl over here a balloon. You don't need any of that. So yeah, that's just a slight takeaway. But and this one, it was very flushed out, because I think you meet like Queen Victoria, and Evie falls in love with that guy where Jake was like, oh, you're not already in love, are you? You know, and then there's like the Jack the Ripper DLC, that was good. The last mission where you fight, I think, John Steric. Where it switches between you and Evie, like Jacob and Evie, that's so good. Like they both have to work together in order to defeat him and stop him once and for all. You know, and you build up like the rooks, and on the map I pretty much had everything done apart from like the mysteries and maybe like collecting like the animus things. And a few missions here or there, but here I've done quite a lot of things. But like I said, look at how annoying this is. Like here I'm hoping I've got enough of a break that I can quickly run over, plant that, and get it done. Because like, look at how annoying this is. And again, because it's engaged combat, I can't pick it up, so I have to run again instead of just being able to pick it back up and just plant it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so frustrating because it's like, just let me plant the thing. Like there, I have to use heals because it's like I can't fight them. If I were fighting them, I wouldn't have to heal. They'd all be defeated by now. But you know, it's like there's like the Jack the Ripper DLC, that's good, and then like there's I think like World War One as well, that's also good. And then there's like a special outfit which is only for Eevee at the end. I think you have to collect the musical things. Like there's so many music boxes, and it turns out it's a suit for Eevee. And my friend personally liked the part where when she crouches she goes invisible, and they sort of return to that a little bit in Assassin's Creed Shadows, because there's a outfit suiting that which I've got, which is low-key kind of broken. But yeah, overall it's another fine installment and another solid 8 out of 10. But like I said, when you get instances like that, it makes it frustrating. But as I've also said, that that the game is pretty well loaded, and that, like I said, when you go to the rivers and there's all those ships and stuff like that, there's plenty of atmosphere, there's plenty around that you feel that they put the heart and soul into making it a vibrant game. And that I think it's a smaller map, Syndicate, than Unity, and it's broke up into sectors, and it breaks off into leveled areas. Like if you go to where Big Ben is, the Queen's Guards, they're level 7, and when you first encounter them, they are solid. They literally kick your booty. And then when you play Jack the Ripper DLC, when you're playing as Eevee, the guards are like level 11, which is a level above you. So, but the game's leveling system never feels too far, because once you learn the abilities and the fight mechanics and these other things, it makes it an epic game, a good game. But like I said, this was like where the series finished on a good note, and you could see that it was sort of going a fun way, and you know, they sort of carried on what they was doing in Unity. It was just slightly different, but they were pushing it forward. So when, like I said, when you get to like other games, like Valhalla, like I said, you go to towns and it's pretty well populated. And then when you're travelling from place to place, there's not like enemies on horses, there's not mercenaries, whatever else. The game, when you compare it to these two games, because it's a bigger game, you think, yeah, you tried making it look better, you tried pushing the game, but look at what you had to sacrifice. So that's sort of like my takeaway. And generally, Syndicate was good because, like I said, it was like, we give you 3 options for this mission. You could like do something to get a unique kill, or 2 other options. But like I said, that particular instance there, where it's like, place the bombs without killing anyone. It's like, really? You crowd the area, and how am I supposed to get in there? How am I supposed to sneak in there? It just feels unfair with the... they called it optional objective, but if you want 100% synchronization, you did it. So, like I said, another solid game, 8 out of 10.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, who said on DVD? Give a mercy, I'm not even doing that. All I'm trying to do is choke some kid, that's it. That's all I'm trying to do, look. The living choke slam of doom!
Right, well anyway, that concludes this video of my experience with Assassin's Creed Games Part 3. So basically, this will now lead on to my outro, and again, with Syndicate, it probably doesn't feel as in-depth as perhaps when I spoke about Unity, but I feel like I covered some of it when I was talking about Unity. I know I spoke about other games, but when you've played through the games, I think the only things that I haven't really played through properly is like Liberations and Freedom Cry, stuff like that. But like the rest of it I've played through, so when I can say like this game doesn't feel as filled as these games were, I feel that's a just and fair comparison, where it's like, well, this is what blew me away. Look at how vibrant the games were. You know, like I said, it's my personal takeaway. Like I said, each character between Jacob and Evie is good, it's different. You can build on both characters, you can fall in love with both characters. Where it's like, well, with Odyssey, as much as I love that game, you could argue the same amount of love weren't put into it, because it's like, whoever you pick, the story's the same. If you pick Cassandra, somehow Alexios is the younger sibling. If you pick Alexios, somehow Cassandra's the younger sibling. Pick a consistency. Pick a canon. Because that just doesn't make the game solid 100% like these polished gems are to a certain degree. But again, like I said, this is now adding on to my outro. So again, this is my take on it. Take it with a pinch of salt. If you have anything that you wish to say, if you've enjoyed the video, leave a like. But if you leave a comment, I will try to read it and respond back. But as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please enjoy the outro. We will see John Slomus. Yeah, like civilian casualties was the thing that I was worried about. Run! Run, Hobbit! Run, you moron! Move, bastard!
Get wrecked! Oh!
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I will show you why I am the brother to John Slomus. They call me One Thomas.
Unlucky. Run! Run, Hobbit! Run, you moron! Move, bastard!
Get wrecked! Oh!
Unlucky.
A few moments later.
Right, get up. It's me, John Slomus.
I have to do it. Don't do it!
Oh shit. No! I should be fine. I should be fine.
Yeet. Don't do it, dog, please. Please give me the kids. Yeet. Please don't need to tag if we get the kids. Oh shit.
Get wrecked!